Good morning, everybody. This is Matt Webster again with the Christian Journey series videos. Today's character that we want to talk about is from a show called Full Metal Alchemist. This character is very near and dear to my heart, like most of the characters on the list. This one kind of holds a different kind of placement, though, on the list. Um, this character is also a father in the show, and he's very endearing, not just to his child, but to the two main characters who are also children, growing up in a very hard situation. Uh, to give you a little bit about the show, Fullmetal Alchemist is a show about alchemy, but it's also about sacrifice and loss. The show embodies a lot of that. Um, show's a fantastic show, great writing. There's two different versions of it. One is called Full Metal Alchemist, which is less based on the manga, and then you have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is also based on the manga. The character, though, that I want to talk about is named Maes Hughes. Um, Fantastic character. One of my favorite characters in anime. He's a father first and foremost. When the two main characters, Edward Elric and Alphonse Elric, meet him, he's this big, goofy kind of guy, um, almost non-serious. And as the shows progress, you learn that he fought in a war where they were having to kill people for no reason, and it always weighed heavy on his soul. So him being goofy and coming back to a wife that loves him was part of his character development because of the fact that I don't think most people can really relate to that. Like if you've ever had to take a life and things like that. I personally wouldn't say I'd envy anyone who has, because I'm sure that it weighs heavily on people's souls. Um, Having said that, though, this character is so funny. His best friend, who he annoys to death, they have phone calls, serious phone calls, and he's always like asking, "Do you have anything serious to tell me?" And Maze will like start to act serious, and then he'll say something like, "I just got to tell you one thing. You need to find yourself a woman, Roy." And it's hilarious because his whole character development is, like I said, fantastic. Kind of want to show what the character looks like for everybody. So that is Maze Hughes. Uh, Character is, like I said, a great character. One of my favorite characters in animes. I think one of the best things about his character, though, is him as a dad. He's just so unserious and unbelievable. In fact, he annoys everybody in the office and everyone around him. He's comedical. He makes jokes. Uh, his wife, such a great character too. She like sees all of his flaws and chooses to love him anyways because of the fact that she knows deep down he's goof and he's got the best interest of everyone in mind. Um, there's actually a point where he's got a picture of his daughter and he's running around the office and he goes, "Isn't she absolutely adorable? Look at this sweet child." Um, it's such a great character for that reason. Um, his character's also got some really good lines from the shows that I think are honestly just great lines in general for humanity. Like, I always like really love when characters give really good, meaningful quotes. And some of his are some of the best. Like this one right here, the most quoted line: "The power of one man doesn't amount to much, but with whatever little strength I'm capable of, I'll do everything humanly possible to protect the people I love." Uh, it's honestly kind of sad because later in the series, he really does do everything possible for the people he loves. Uh, the two main characters, Edward and Alphonse Elric, he ends up trying to help them uncover a secret where they discover that the government has been acting evil and they're doing these shady things and they're sacrificing all of humanity for these things called homunculus and eternal life and stuff like that. He actually dies uncovering a secret for the two brothers in their pursuit to find what's called the Philosopher's Stone so they can bring their mother back. And then they discover that you have to sacrifice all of humanity to make this stone. It ends up being that it's not really worth having the stone. But you get into episodes later where he has his funeral. Not the brothers, because they don't know until much later, but his best friend. And this is actually one of those animes where I have to pause the scene because I'm gonna be honest, even as a guy, I cannot not cry during this scene. I know it's just a cartoon character for some people, but it's that real depth of emotion that as a man you feel watching it. Um, his daughter and his mom, or his wife, are sitting there and they're burying Hughes, and the little girl, Alicia, she's pulling on Mrs. Hughes' dress and she's going, "Why are they putting Daddy in the ground? Why are they burying Daddy? Daddy said he was going to play." And she's just a little girl, so she doesn't understand. And Hughes being dead in the ground, she doesn't quite understand what's going on, and her mom can't explain to her because she's just not old enough yet to really understand that her dad's gone. Uh, that scene, I don't know, it hits really hard, I think, watching it, because I know from my own personal standpoint that knowing if my friends were ever in danger, if I felt like they were in danger, I would not hesitate to act. But that's one of the reasons why I love this character, because I know it's something that I would be willing to do and willing to give, and that's, I'm very protective of the people I love. I'd go to any lengths. And I always had this saying that I told my mom and I told other people. If I saw a child on the road and they were about to get hit by a car, if I couldn't get to them fast enough, if I could at least push them out of the way so that they could have a life, even knowing that I'm probably going to die, I'd be willing to make that sacrifice. Because if I can save even one life, think of the world of a difference you can make in the world. Because that kid's going to grow up remembering that someone they didn't even know was willing to sacrifice their life. Now, I'm not talking about being a martyr. I'm just simply talking about making a difference in the world. There's a phrase that my brother and I both love, and that's, "One raindrop can raise the sea." So, if you think about it like that, if one raindrop can raise the level of the sea, then one human, one person, can make all the difference in the world. Never doubt the power that you are capable of. Again, this character embodies that wholeheartedly. Even so much so that his best friend, when he's with his lieutenant, it's not raining outside, and he goes, "It's a terrible day for rain." And his lieutenant goes, "But sir, it's not raining." She looks back and he's got tears rolling down his face. Like I said, his whole death, this whole character, is really powerful. Actually, I put a lot of thought into it, and like, it's really funny that the name Maes means son of Matthew and its origin roots. And honestly, never thought about it at the time, but I would like to name my firstborn son Maes. I think this name is an incredible name. I think that, and not just because it's son of Matthew, because my name is Matthew, but because this character is everything I want to be as a father, everything I want to be as a friend. He's even got some other quotes that I personally agree with. Quotes about like humanity. This one is a really good one. "When I am who I am called, a weapon or a monster, fight a real monster, I can fully realize I'm just a human." Sometimes in my life I felt like I was the monster, mostly because people often did that to me, where I was made to feel like, I was doing the wrong thing, fighting for the wrong reason. But those of us who are truly human, we can fight and be monsters and still remain to be human. I don't know, like I said, this character is just fantastic. Another quote that he's really known for is something that he thinks about his wife. And he goes, "Can you really hold the woman you love with blood-stained hands?" And I think as a man, like, when you feel like you're a monster, finding that woman who puts her arms around you and chooses you even when you are a monster, you're her monster or beast. And it's a big deal. like I said, this character means a lot to me. Uh, Fantastic character. And sacrificial love is a big thing, especially in Christianity. And I think as men, it's something that we often need to practice more so than women. I've met some women in my life, and very few of them have ever made me really feel like I wanted to sacrifice myself for them. In fact, if I'm being honest, there's only ever been one. And it's crazy because this is a woman I know that can't love herself. And I think that's a real hard thing to do, is when you love someone who can't love themselves. And I'll admit it, I'm bound to make mistakes. And even loving this woman, I've made mistakes. And it's crazy because I don't know that I would change that. To be honest, I'm the kind of person that would pick someone again every day, knowing their flaws, and continue to pick them, even when the whole world is telling me not to. Because, quite frankly, at the end of the day, like, you get one choice at life, and no one can make your choices for you. You have to pick what makes you happy. And there is going to be pain and happiness. There's always a little bit of pain and love. But it's a choice we make. And you choose the pains that you're willing to put up with, even when those people can't put up with themselves. Anyways, I hope everyone got something from this video. I really enjoyed this character, and I hope you did too.